back at the cabin. It's actually pretty hot today. It's around 25 degrees. Next week it's supposed to be in the 40s, so that's around 90 and 100 Fahrenheit. So it is very, very hot. But I wanted to come and check once again because we were having some extreme weather. We're just not used to this in Canada. There's torrential downpours, just crazy amounts of rain, and huge windstorms and extreme heat. Like usually we get 30 35 degrees, but now it's above 40 and we rarely see temperatures like that. So at least in my province where I am, it's not that common. We get some winds and some storms, but nothing like we've been having. So thankfully it really wasn't that bad here. There is a few damages, I guess you could say. I had to cut down some trees, some pretty big trees, but all in all, everything's good. The cabin itself, I can't see nothing wrong with it, especially with all the rain that we have. No water leaked inside or anything. My roof is pretty good. On the inside, there is a few little damages. I'm not sure if it's mice, squirrels, or even little like wood mites that eat the wood, because I have a huge pile of sawdust on my bed, and I'm just not sure what it could be. So leave that down in the comments if you think you know what it is. But apart from that, for today, I just like to just do some light work. It is still pretty hot outside, and maybe even switch the lights that I have on the inside for a pack of 12-volt lights that I had inside the little back of the cabin. I call it the workshop, but I actually have 12-volt lights in there, and I would love to see if they do the job for inside the cabin. It's nice to have a bunch of light strings that are 110 volt, but those suck up the battery dry in like half an hour. I really don't have the funds or even other resources to buy batteries and different items you need to make an entire 110 system work, and I especially think that it's not worth it for my little cabin. So we'll go around, check out the cabin. I did a brief walk around myself, but I'll bring you guys around. I actually noticed that I still have more raspberries on my roof, so I'll eat those up. I'm actually pretty hungry, and yeah, we'll get started on swapping out the lights. I think it's really awesome that the vines, finally covered the cabin, and I have the berry bushes on the roof. It just makes it look super organic. You can't really see the cabin. It really blends in really, really well. But yeah, I had my few berries. I'll head into the workshop and I'll show you guys just what I mean when I say I have, 110 and 12-volt lights. 12 volt is slightly more expensive when you want to buy them, just because there's a bit less of a market. It's mostly people that have RVs or power generators, or even, like me, solar panels. So it doesn't really apply to a lot of people. So just for one string of lights, it's like 5 times the cost for me of just your standard old string lights from, commercial stores like Walmart. So let's head inside and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So here we are in the workshop. You can see here I have some little light bulbs. Maybe you can't see them that well because they aren't turned on. But if I only hit one button on my inverter, they should pop on. Hey, there we go. Fancy new lights. I've had these here for, I want to say 2 years, 3 years. I believe my long-time subscribers will know when I put them up because I have no idea. Let me know how long I've had these for. But honestly, I have no idea. I think they are plastic, so they're pretty durable. It's good for winter. And yeah, I might just, plop these off and head into the cabin and just strip all my other, I think I have 4 or 5 light strips of the slightly less expensive but still pretty expensive lights that I wanted. This style just costs more because it is the old style Edison light bulb, and I'm sure somebody's going to mention in the comments that, why don't you use LEDs? One LED could light up the entire cabinet by itself. I just don't like the style. But if you guys have any suggestions for anything that's 12 volt powered, LED light strip or something that resembles this. I really don't like white light. You guys could see the light that it gives off. It looks awesome, and that's really just what I'm looking for. But if you guys have any suggestions, just write them down in the comments. Like always, I try to read most of my comments. So let's get started taking these things down. Right before we get started for the inside lights, I'm going to eat something because I'm starving. My stomach is about to eat itself, so I'll head inside and grab my little trail mix. I always love to just have some emergency food available, especially non-perishables. So trail mix is great, and I actually brought more just because I use it so often. So I'll head inside, get my mason jar, and we'll come back outside. Good old trail mix does a job each time. I just keep it in I call it a mason jar, but they're jewel jars, and I believe the real name of them is gem jars, just because there's a bunch of companies and have different names. But yeah, they're made in Canada. They're the ancestor of good old mason jars that we use. They have a glass top, but this is supposed to have a gasket on it, or any type of seal. That's what they would have had back in the day, but I do not have one, and the food itself is just as fresh as ever. There's protein and carbs in here and whatever. Super good. And I actually brought the same one again. It's just $2.25 at the dollar store. Really nothing fancy. I know some people are picky about these stuff. They don't like certain type of nuts or even dried raisins. I think it's just great. Standard trail mix. I even have some on the inside that I got at the same dollar store, but they have M&Ms in there, so a little bit of chocolate. It's a bit sweeter. You're lucky if you get one, but the thought's still there. The quality of these old jars is just, second to none. Just the glass is, like 3/8 thick. It's so thick. So yeah, I try to take care of them. Tried to have something period correct. But okay, one last big bite and we'll head inside and do the lights. Almost forgot to refill my jar. Oh, okay. You don't want to break the glass top. I really need to find a cushion also for this chair. Obviously you pay full price, but you get half of the bag, like everything else in life. But Pour all this in there. And there you go. Filled, just to make sure. Put the top back on. And just mix it up. And there we go. Might as well get a breeze of fresh air. Since you guys are there, you can see why I like these lights a whole lot better. They're just smaller and, you know, they hide better. But I'll try to do something similar with the other ones, kind of, you know, sneaking them in somewhere. But we'll see. I have peanuts in here too, that's new. Actually, it's probably been there for 3 years, but I just noticed. That's why I need lights. It's so freaking dark in here. Thought I heard something walking. Well, hopefully this is one of the last times that it's going to be this dark in here. I'm going to head outside, leave the camera running. I just need to hit my button. It's already all plugged up. There is very few lights. I think how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, there's probably 10. Oh yeah, there's 10 over there. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'll run out real quick and see how it goes. Is it working? Oh yeah. I need more, but still pretty cool. I don't remember where I got these, but I'll make sure to see if I could afford a new one. A new light strip, because I think they're close to $100. These things, they are very, very expensive. The other ones are like 25 to 40 bucks, but I still have 4 or 5 of them, so times the price by 5. But yeah, I think I'll be able to do at least with 2, I'll be able to go around the cabin. I would like if there'd be more lights, but it's 12 volt and they want you to use as less power as possible. So less lights means less power, but it's still pretty cool. All that's left now is to head back inside and clean up all the messes. I have to clean up all the light strings, some tools, and even the mess that I think the mice or the wood mites did. So yeah. It's not always relaxing at the cabin, but it's better here than in town in the city. So I'll take what I can get. I'd love to come more often, but the weather is just super terrible this year. Try to not explode these on the way back. No guarantee. Look how insane this stuff is. Just an insane amount of sawdust. It's a decent sized dustpan, just filled with dust. So, if you know what those are, just leave them down. Leave your answer down in the comments, because I'm really wondering here. The wind is starting to pick up, and so is the rain. I don't want to risk damaging the camera, so I'll end the video here. Once again, as I always say, I try to post as often as I can, but this year has just been terrible with the extremely terrible bad weather we're having. I try to come as often as I can, but like everybody else, you know, have other stuff in life, and I try to post as often as possible. Just, again, the weather is just very, very bad. It's either blistering heat, extreme wind, or just insane amounts of rain. So hopefully winter really won't be that bad this year. Once again, last year it was nice, but we can only hope. It's about time for me to lock up. So if you guys have any comments, write them down in the comment sections. Anything that's, you know, constructive criticism, always love reading the comments. If you have the answers to any of the questions I asked, please write them down in the comments. It helps out the video. And like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you want to see more content.